Hey there, Cancer. This is Joy. I'm here to give you your reading. Um, First of all, I want to say welcome. And I want to tell you, I took a look into the overarching energy, but really, I took a look into your energy. So, some cards are already out, not just overarching energies, but also part of a personal reading. This has been happening, even though I'd rather do it live, which I will end up doing. But it's almost like y'all are being invited into my home and into my heart to just have a private unveiling of the self, of the heart. And it happened with Gemini too. And what I see occurring, it's timidity. And it's not long standing, but it's really being able to express your fears or concerns and let them out, knowing that you're being heard before I begin feeding you information. And that's actually very sweet. That tenders my heart, Cancer, to hear y'all unveil that to me and share that with me as to why it's working like this. So I have my own journey right now of not fighting it, but flowing with it. So I'm going to flow with what's going on here. And just we're going to tap into the background so that you can know if this information is speaking to your heart. I'm here as an intuitive to see into the energy of what's going on, to be able to kind of provide signs or road marks or hallmarks along the path, information that you can receive however you need to kind of, well, to integrate what is necessary for your journey. That's enough of that. So anyways, I cut a deck over here. Pretty sure I was going to use the Light Seers Tarot because it's very evocative, very creative, emotive, like you guys are. And so at the cut, there's King of Wands and the Ace of Cups. So it's really, hello. Y'all want me to tune into the power of love. And I was like, okay, we can do that. We can do that. But then you took me into some deeper energy, which is really nice. It's nice getting to flow with you guys. I do have a speck of Cancer in my chart at 0 degrees Cancer. But y'all took me into the Ciro Marchetti tarot, wanting me to know kind of what was behind the scenes. So enough of that. When I pulled the runes, one came out crooked, one came out laying down, and one came out upside down. And as I sat with them and listened, it really came into wanting to be prepared to receive, about aligning. And when these couple of overarching cards came out, it really honed it in to open the door to possibilities. That would be kind of like the driving thrust to this message. And to keep it simplified, because as I look into some of these cards, I notice that there's a portion of you here that are apprehensive to letting love in, and because you define love as your intimate partner, and there's still a very guarded eye, like you've been jaded before, and the heart is reluctant to let go and to fully trust again. And in the season of the retrogrades that are working right now, it's a very, we'll call it a very clear-cut energy. It's all or nothing. And if you're feeling any of what's going on with it, it's like one day you're fine and the next day there's all this heaviness on you. And so it's an all or nothing, but it is a fairly double-step, double-time, fast-paced energy that we're seeing. And so I'll try and give you as much clarity as I can into what's going on or what you share with me here. And then we'll look at kind of see where it can go from there. This card came out And what we see here is this woman that's grown up. It's kind of like her childhood dreams, her inner child. She's sort of, we'll say holding on to, but that's a good thing, but guarding and protecting about what she's letting in. Okay, the pages of her diary are flying across her mind. Her eyes are shut. She's in her intuitive state. And with the North Node going into Gemini, that can be kind of hyperactive at this time of over scrutinizing for any of us to really try and find more proof. And proof is different than what they're telling me here. One of those runes talked about signs, and that there were signs being provided. But if we're in this state of being fearful and guarded, kind of reluctant to step forward, it's going to mess with the synchronicity of timing, and therefore it alters the results. It alters what is seen. It alters what is received. So really the encouragement here would be to give a clean slate and open your heart in some capacity. If it's guarded against love, then open it to possibilities in career, into possibilities of friendships and other connections. It's kind of like life is saying, if you'll open in one, then you will begin to see the magic. You'll see the signs that life has changed, and that's evidence that you have changed, that you see the gift that you are, and therefore you can receive the joy that others find being in your presence, sharing who you are. That's kind of what this is about, is coming out of that state, coming out of that place, opening up the magic, sharing the gift that you are. We had these two cards also that sit over there with it. And it's deep knowing and poised. And poised is really just shining, being the star that you are, that life is ready to go in your favor for whatever reason. And here I see the states of the mind. We're moving into a life change of whole-mindedness is coming forth, but right now we're still operating in the three-layered mind of the conscious, the subconscious, and the unconscious mind. And here you sit poised in between. And so you're kind of in the middle. And the thing is our subconscious mind has a lot more consciousness to it than people give it credit for. It's when we say, I know I shouldn't, but it's that type of a thing. Allowing you to stay in this limbo, in this seesaw energy, in this tug of war. And that can be very disruptive and destructive to your energy. Your energy is too beautiful to have it frayed like that, pulled like that, overworked in that way, creating stress and on your heart and on your trust. And it's kind of like this card that's coming up later. You see he's kind of got that side eye that he's giving to life, like, I don't know if I could trust you on this. And as we know, what we think and perceive is what we will see. It's the reticular activating system. It's a scientific part of the brain that what we are desiring, we will begin to see. And although no one's desiring to be hurt or betrayed or anything like that, it is, being in that center part of the mind, the subconscious of... I know, but what do I do about it? How do I proceed forward? How do I change this loop? How do I change this pattern? And here we have this other card where I love it because you talk about brilliant and intuitive. You guys can pick up on all sorts of things. Look at how magnanimous her crown is. Look at it, not just the third eye here, but assistance from the universe. And that's being willing to open your heart and your mind to, like she's doing here. Okay, opening your heart and your mind to see beyond this current space and time, beyond this current moment. And I love that here's all these little fairies, all these little pixies that she's letting out. She's opening up to the possibilities. And she's watching to see what their magic is. So, all right. Let's get, well, we'll get the oracle card that was drawn for you guys. Okay. The first thing, I knew that there was lightning ripping across the sky, and it was coming from this odd angular cloud, which to me is very harsh, very hard, kind of mountainous, like insurmountable, okay? And it comes and it rips the atmosphere, and here we have this magic kind of gestation going on above ground, above surface, in the 5D realm, should we say, up here, with the magnanimous crown, right? And here, down below, we have the gifts opening, the kind of like the sharing of the recognition of who you are, of your perspective, the way you see things, of really sharing yourself without fear or timidity. It doesn't have to be rash boldness, but it can be tentative steps, step by step, and seeing, it's kind of like a scavenger hunt. Each one will have a little reward, a little calling you out a little further. Even though one of the runes talked about being positioned where things will come to you, in this sense, things are coming to you by you coming to it. It's like the two are being drawn together, okay? But it's with the opening of this door. So we'll step on from there, seeking the power of love. Yet in the spread here, there's some side-eye going on with that. And here we're going to find out why. So in the past and where you've been, and kind of it's strange because it's like you're stuck in the past, okay? And it's a very active present past. It's one that can be gone in the snap of a finger. See right here, we've got the Four of Coins. And as we can see, you're holding close to your heart that which you value. And it's not about monetary possessions or things like that. It's about the tangible. It's about having been truly hurt, like the pain, the physical pain that it caused you, the tears that you cried, the sleepless nights, those type of things. It's the very tangible. Maybe it rocked through and impacted your career, you know, or maybe it touched and changed the lives of your children. I don't know. But whatever it is, he's holding it very close. And as you can see, there's that eye again, straight on looking at, like, I got my eye on you. I'm watching you. Don't you come near my treasure. But in there's your whole world. And I love that he's holding it over the heart, because we know y'all are of the heart, okay? And what comes up next, which I saw this in Gemini also, and y'all are kind of in the flow because you're the next turn of the wheel past it. We see a tower being forced. All right, and that's where life is moving on at a pretty decent pace now. And even though we're in seasons of retrogrades where we think it's revisiting, this retrograde season, it's unique in that it's unearthing and opening these gifts. All the things of these last 6 to 8 to 9 to 10 months that you were diligently manifesting or cleaning out or checking into your own value or ascending or doing that connection work, and it felt unanswered. It felt painfully so, should I say. It felt expensive and like unrequited. And not just with people, but like with the universe itself, with God itself, like very challenging on your spirit. And that's the irony, as the retrogrades are going on now, is when they turn, it's almost like you were doing layaway or down payments on what it was. And if on the return, on the retrograde, you were still interested, you would see the signs or the receipts that, hey, here it is, come and get it. Instead of, you know, the little side eye. I got my eye on you. I don't know if I can trust you, But that's the energy of this retrograde season. I have a pretty heavy Pluto in my chart, and so I'm quite familiar with it and how it works. The rewards come from Pluto, the resurrection power, for those who are still there, who are still standing afterwards, who pick themselves back up and choose to live again, breathe again, hope again, believe again. And if you're in touch with your spirit, you can't always change what those are. Sometimes it's a resurrection of the very same ones that put you down for the count. And you're like, really? I thought I got rid of this. I thought I swept it out of my heart and cleansed it on out. And here you are again. I don't know. Maybe I'll just hold it close to my heart and see if I can make this come true myself. Or like she has, maybe I'll cherish it near and dear. And I know it seems childish or simplistic to believe in true love or the world all getting along or my business being successful and people getting who I am or having friendships that are tried and true and trusted. No, there's nothing wrong with that. It's some teasing going on here, and not like Nana and a boo-boo, but more like, come here, I've got something to show you. And it's like life's wanting you to get on the same side and look through the eyes of life with a new perspective, and you will see these possibilities, okay? But if not, we got this tower coming. It's the blowing of the mind, all right? And that's the same thing we saw here. I knew a tower would be coming in with this lightning strike. But it's also the quick path. And so many people, this has been long and arduous, and people are wanting that quick return. And this quick return that's coming isn't one that will shortchange you any necessary development, because I'm not down with that. I'm not down with repeating a grade, of spending all that time and then having to do it again, because time is precious. But anyways, this is a tower of gold and crystal, and it's fine and refined. And there, the lid is getting blown off. Okay? So that would be in your present. But it's like the two are overlaid. It's like you're almost trading the present to stay in the past and going, well, I'm just going to avoid that. I don't want my world to be shattered. I don't want my fairy tale to be shattered, my idealism, my hopes, my dreams to be shattered again. These last months have been devastating. How am I going to deal with that? And here's how. This is coming in. This should be the future or the next step. And y'all, these, remember, they're coming like this, almost like day by day by day. Life is really moving on. In my mind, a progressive pace. It's not all long and drawn out. It's really wild. And just having time on our side is something that should give us kind of a rush of breath and inhale to move forward. But in here, this death is making a peace offering. You see, we've got this white rose extended here, and it's purity of heart. It's not a death that is costly. It's more of a death that is cleansing. I often see death as like the brother or the cousin of the magician. It's a manifester in that it clears out debris to make room for the new. It's kind of like after any celebration or birthday or holiday where there are packages and presents. When it's all said and done, we begin to clean away the wrappings and the trappings to see what remains. Okay, so that's what's going on here. And as we can see the symbols of Pluto. All right, we see the mask going on, and it's kind of like the Pinocchio type mask. It's like a liar, a deceiver, a trickster. But I'm letting y'all in on the secrets of the tricks. Is get back up again, and show that you're willing to stand, and believe beyond belief, to step over your own dead body of fears and frailty. You know, because you get worn out. You start to feel frail and exhausted and like you're a wisp of a person that's left. And it's like, how can I do this one more time? Well, I'm telling you, you can do it. Get up. Your dreams are worth it. You are worth it. You are worth having this beautiful, lustrous, powerful, juicy heart, this delicious life that you've been desiring, to have the communion and the unity, whether it is about an intimate relationship or whether it's about faithful friendships. a beautiful dynamic in your work and creativity. Just a celebration of life, period. So we're going to step down. Oh, no, 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 no. Let me finish that. We're going to wait on that. We're going to drop down beneath. Okay? So underneath the Four of Coins, we have got the Page of Wands. And we can see that treasure runs deep. And as I know, our treasures, like our soul, is connected to these dragons. It's down in these lower realms. It's in these deep earth, very primal magic. It's going back to like the childhood here, guarding that inner child from having the dreams destroyed. It's almost like, you know, the magic dust where it all comes from, the stardust, you know, the wishing upon a star. And here we see this page has the rod, so there's a bit of mastery going on here. I know it's wands, but to me, when they have the rod in their hand, a single rod, it's a bit of mastery, but it's kind of new territory because you see this one is not wrapped with the red cord of destiny. All right. This is like kind of older than time, which is why we're seeing the dragons here. And that's where I should say that where I said time is on your side, that is the assistance. Because ironically, time existed before time. It is origin, okay? And this one is showing up underneath as an encouragement to say, I gotcha. I gotcha. But it's also, as a page, it's there's a boldness to youthfulness, but there's also a bit of caution I sense in this one, looking directly at it, listening feeling of taking each step, like that scavenger hunt. You have to read the first script of paper, solve it, before you can go on to the next one. And so that's kind of what they're hinting at here is in the process. But I also love that the hand is raised, is that I'm here to defend and protect what you care about. So you have help alongside you. These may not be physical earth bodies, but anyone as passionate as you guys are, you have that spiritual help. You have this higher realm that has its eye on you and that is cheering you on to open up to possibilities. They are here navigating the energy around you. And as we know, Pluto has made peace with you and is hoping you make peace with what has happened over these last 8 to 10 months and realizing that it was the setting of the scene. As we know, any great story has to kind of draw you in with an intensity or an anticipation so that it can peak and then resolve itself. But anyways, beneath the tower, we have the Ten of Wands. And it's really, you know, that being bent under the burdens. And I know everybody says this is completion, it's all done, but I see here it's still on your back. It's still weighing you down. And it's still, when anything's on your back, because y'all are of the heart, it's making your heart heavy. Your heart is heaving forward. And as we see, he's got that one rod draped on his knee, and it's looking down and remembering the sorrows. The sorrows are weighing him down. Yeah, I see it. The tears are still fairly fresh, okay? And it impacts your personal life. And, you know, more like swords energy, they can, you know, check out when they get home. It might be out in the world, but can come home and retreat some from that. Here, this sorrow, this intensity is carrying with you into your home, into your personal life behind closed doors. And that has been the challenge. That is the tower. And that's why the tower, these two cards are like the block between your past, okay? And it's got to go on this side. Hang on. Be patient. And your future. Okay? I'm not seeing a present. There is no word of present. hanging over these. This is like a stuck point, a blockage, okay? And so we're just gonna we're gonna remove that blockage, and I pray fresh wind, fresh fire into you, fresh passion, fresh enthusiasm, just this waking up like kids on Christmas morning, or like when spring fever hits. It wakes you up with this uprising energy, so that that bogging down doesn't sit on you any longer, and that you can step to the present. We can call it the future, but it's the present, and it's really just facing that death. And let me tell you, it's a peace offering. Making peace with how things have happened. They haven't ended per se, except in your mind. Okay? So take time with how you discern your spirit, whether that's prayer, meditation, whether it's cards, whether it's, reading, studying, observing nature, whatever it is, take that time to look again. Okay? And, again, privately, right? With your spirit, and ask them to show you how to think about what all's gone on, okay? Because down beneath death, we have the Ten of Coins. And to me, I know a lot of people like Ten of Cups, but to me, Ten of Coins isn't just lip service. It's putting your money where your mouth is. It's someone that follows through. It's a commitment. It's about living up to your feelings, okay? And to me, it's in conjunction with another. But that's where we've got kind of this next energy coming up. So I'm physically going to remove the blockage. All right? There we go. And I'm putting them over here with the power of love. Let the power of love take care of that. And I'm going to move death and the Ten of Coins into your present, because we're here to manifest, right? And where two or more are gathered, it's done. So I'm on your side, and I'm ready for y'all to get to the good stuff, okay? To get to the reason why you invested, to be able to embrace the passions of your heart, to be able to like touch them, taste them, feel them, smell them, to tangibly have it dwelling in your home, okay? And this was originally like the side supporting energy of kind of like where to go, what to do, but really what's on the horizon, what to feel. It's now coming into your future because we moved the blockage out of the way. And next to death, we have the Eight of Cups. And you could think this is walking away, but it's not so much about what's behind anymore. It's not even, the focus isn't even here. It's coming back to this. Being open to possibilities. And what they had told me before turning on the camera is key is not necessary. It's your permission. The door simply needs to be open. They have come to you. They are knocking, but you're not opening. You were caught under that burden that we have swept out of the way, and we've given over to the power of love, so that you can step in step by step and walk into this new position of having true commitment, partnership in whatever facet. Now, a love or intimate relationship is very obvious here of what's wanting to come in, but the heart's still sensitive. And so they're just simply asking you to open the door to possibility, to see the faithfulness in your friendships, to see how others are, and maybe even some in your life are beginning to love and value you as a gift for the gift that you are, and celebrating you, and how you pour out your intuitive capabilities and you share them with others from time to time. That's not something that's free to you. It costs you. It's very, very costly, because you don't only see, you feel them as well. All right. So it's about opening to those possibilities, seeing where you are celebrated, and recognizing that is life's way of showing you. Those are signs, those are synchronicities that they were talking about and what's going on here, of warming you up to the idea of this power of love being pervasive in all areas of your life. It's not like you step in one little patch of the water and this part of the water's wet and this part of the water's dry and this part of the water's sweet and this part of the water's salty. It's like a body of it, okay? And they're wanting to move through the body of who you are, the body of your beingness, your amnios around you, okay? But I do see that in the future, and this is where things were kind of inverted and shows me that you were wanting to put your kind of your personal happiness first. It's like an inside outside. It's one place that you're still flickering a little bit, okay? And that's not a bad thing. The awareness that it's here is that it was willing to be seen. And that's great, okay? Because if we can see it, we can begin to look into what it's about, all right? And so here, again, like here, holding that coin over the heart, close to the heart, protecting the heart, okay? And this is the 9 of coins. And you see it's practicing falconry. It's like having that extremely keen sight that goes along with this. And in this case, because of the nodes where they are, it can be played into overworking the mind. In a sense, it almost diminishes and tarnishes this extracurricular help you have going on here. This has come here to provide those signs and synchronicities to kind of lighten your load and to allow your wateriness to flow, for you to move with the flow of consciousness. Okay. But she is open because the window's open and the curtains are blowing. The spirit is blowing through. And I believe as we're talking about this, some of y'all are hearing this now. So what I'd love to see is to see these two interchange. And not like, when I get this, then I'll be happy. Anything that ever says when, then is like that carrot dangling and just stringing you along. Okay, it's not like life calling, going, hey, come here, I want to show you something. It's this side eye of like, I don't know. I know how this has gone before. It's that type of thing. And we're wanting to just wipe the slate clean here and allow it to be opportunities for your joy, opportunities for your fulfillment and satisfaction. And not just yours, because you so intuit and pick up on the emotions of those around you, that those that you are connecting with, that you are able to sense their pleasure, their satisfaction, their respect and honor for your gift, your investment in the relationship. And so I've traded this out, and this is now under the 8 of Cups, that you're opening to possibilities, and that your investments are going to pay off, okay? So I'm going to take a quick look at these. What are they called? Energy Oracle cards. Energy Oracle card for Cancer, to seal in all this beautiful energy going on here. This beautiful heart of common connections, reciprocated love, and all their investment. Just one card, please. Thank you. There we go. All right. 2 cards came out. Woo! Woo, I'm not a fan of that. Okay. Okay. All right. I understand why I brought up the amnios, the energy around you. That is clearly what I see here. This has nothing to do with you as individuals. We have got financial constraints and envy, and here the financial constraints really has to do with that essence of the heart. Like your heart is spent, and you're thinking, I don't have anything left. But that's why this card was in the kind of like action-oriented area, and that moved on into your future. And once we took the blockage out, But it's really that we know you've run out, we know you've run dry, and that's where we're taking you to new land. Like shepherds will do, the sheep will graze in an area, and then they move on. It's kind of like crop rotation, and they move forward to greener pastures. And so the moving forward, the open door is not a trick. Like here, you're looking in a cupboard. You're looking inside yourself, where life is asking you to turn and look to the magic in the world around you, to open up this sacred cosmic egg you have going on here. And the envy is just, it's an energy sitting around you, kind of like, well, they got what they want, and those people are happy, and I wish for that. How come I didn't get it? And it's like remember when I talked about, you see how there are crows here with Pluto? What is going on with the Pluto retrograde? The energy of Pluto retrograde is working in your behalf. But Pluto, period, has noise up around your head. And it can be cynical, dark energy. It can be things like the envy here of when then, or why not me, or why me, or blah, blah, blah. Or you remember how you never and you always. We're just zapping that. We're just going to, bam, we're knocking these out of the park. We're clearing that energy from around you, because we just declare it right now that you're free from that the air around you is refreshed. It's cleansed out. We put a HEPA filter on it to clear out your spiritual egg, to cleanse out any old dust and debris, and to replace it with fresh, beautiful air. Just imagine the fragrance that you love right now, whether it's fresh cut grass or roses or home-baked bread. Just imagine that smell with me right now. And just receive the beauty of that energy. That is what surrounds you, as well as my love for you and my belief in you. And we're gonna pick an animal oracle. Okay, get a little help here. Let's get some help for Cancer. Let's encourage our friends, how beautiful they are, how loving they are, and how we appreciate them. And we're willing to pitch in and help with the heart of the zodiac. The heart and the home. We appreciate y'all. Okay. Aww. It's beautiful. We have another rose here. And I love, oh, it's a heart. It's a heart. And this is Panda. It says, stay balanced and in your essence. See the heart going on there? And that's how I feel when I think about you guys. I've had some beautiful Cancerian friends, and intense and sincere, beautiful and loving, and I love it because we had the balance. We had the black and white going on here, just like we did. You can see we've got some of that black and white energy going on in this card, and then we have the hope. Okay, the blue rose of hope. So putting that Panda energy out your way. We've cleansed your essence. These energies were around you. We put the HEPA filter on that thing. We've cleansed it out. We agree that your life is in support of refilling your heart, that you don't have to look within to your cupboards, because we know that you really put everything you are into it. And we're looking to life to pour back into you, and that those around you show you love and appreciation for who you are. This is Joy showing my love and appreciation for you. Bye, Cancerians. Love you.